Well, hello. My name is Jim, if you remember that. And this is the Lake Effect Gardener. It's been 2 months. It seemed a lot longer than that, to tell you the truth. But May 1st was the last time I filmed. It is now July 1st. Welcome to July. It's going to be a scorcher today, so I'm filming nice and early, but I knew it was time for me to get my camera out once again and to show you what's going on. I know I did get a few messages from people who were asking me if I was okay. Yes, I'm okay. I've just been very busy. I have to say I have been a little reclusive and focused on things that just need to get done. And sometimes filming what I'm doing can take longer. You know what I mean? A lot of the projects that I've been up to have been non-garden related. So it's been a process, and I've been trying to keep my focus and to just keep pushing through. My gardening mojo was, I think, at an all-time low this year, and I'm not sure why, but I still managed to get everything in. I still managed to get things going. I had a lot of work to do in that garden this year, and you'll see as we do the tour. So all my veg is taken care of, which is great. I can't speak for the rest of my borders and stuff like that, just I haven't gotten around to it. So there's still plenty of summer to be had, although summer is so fleeting, and my time off from school, which, yeah, I'm off from school now, is also fleeting. So I'm trying to take care of these things, pick my battles, trying to be as efficient as I possibly can. The first project that I had to do beyond the vegetable garden was to take care of something up on my roof. I've got one of those big attic fans, okay, and it's thermostat controlled, so when the heat in the attic, I just have a crawl space attic, when it gets to a certain temperature, the thermostat will kick on, an exhaust fan will go on, and it'll suck all of the hot air out of the attic, which is going to help save my roof first and foremost. But along with that, if I keep my attic doors open, it sucks all of the hot air, the heat from inside the house up into the attic and out. So I wanted to make sure that that was in. We've been having really, really hot weather, and it really, really helps keep my house so much cooler. So much cooler. I thought it would be a couple hours process. It wasn't. When my attic fan I replaced it, okay? There was one in there. My grandfather put it in there, and I bought a replacement for it because the other one was completely shot. It was buried under 3 roofs, okay? So 3 layers of roofing material. So I had to completely excavate. I had to rebuild. I had to tie in. It took a lot longer, but it's in. It's working magnificently. I haven't had to have an air conditioner on in the house at all yet. The house has been staying at a nice 68 degrees. So that was something that had to be done. And then after I had it done, I was all worried with the rain, if I was going to get leaks and all that stuff. So there was that. You can't see it out of picture right now, but I had to completely do over my porch, my patio. I had rotting wood planks that had to be pulled up, and and then it was a particularly messy spring with the maple tree propellers and the pine trees and stuff like that. So I had to painstakingly go through with I don't even know what you would consider it. I just dropped my phone. Sorry. There we go. What was I saying? Oh, I had to literally like carve all the debris out from in between the planks and then vacuum all that up. And it was just because the water wasn't getting through and it was pooling, which is not good for a wooden deck. Got that done, got it stained. It's looking great. You can't see it out of shot right now, but it's a total disaster because I have everything moved so that I actually stained this yesterday. What else? Oh yes, another project of mine. I got my hands on another old appliance. It's something that I've always wanted. Take a look. It's a 1953 Maytag wringer washer. Now, I've been looking for one of these for a long time, and there are a lot of wringer washers out there, okay? But Maytag, that was particular. It had to be a Maytag. Why? Because they make replacement parts for it, okay? There are replacement parts for a 1953 wringer washer, a website that's completely dedicated to it. Because, oddly enough, the Amish still use those wringer washers. They're usually powered by gas instead of electric, since they don't use electric. Mine is electric, but they make all the replacement parts. So I knew that if I got an old appliance like this, that I would need to have some source to repair it if it needs to. I mean, 1953. It's 69 years old. Okay? It works amazingly. Isn't that awesome? So it's in the garage right now, and I'll have its forever home somewhere. I'm not sure yet. It's going to probably be in the garage, but that load of laundry that you just saw there was, whatchamacallit, it was dirty garden clothes and rags and stuff like that. So it uses less water. The wringer on it actually does a really great job at drying the clothes out. It does just as well as an automatic clothes washer without, with half the energy. It's really an energy efficient way of using or of cleaning your clothes. And I'm using all natural soap, so I can use the gray water in it anywhere in the garden and stuff like that. So it's something I've always wanted. It's energy efficient, and I was spending a lot of time restoring that. It was a bit rusty. I paid $50 for it. That was it. So yeah, I even found the decal. I'm sure you saw it on the front. That wasn't there. There's a company that actually makes reproduction decals for that. So, so it looks beautiful, and it does a really awesome job. I've got, a line in the back to dry the clothes, so I'm not using any extra energy at that, because energy prices are a little nuts right now. So I thought, what better way to combat that and save a couple of cents? So anyways, I could go on and on about all the different projects, but that's, the general gist of me just trying to balance everything and take care of it and get it done, and then go into the garden and do stuff like that. And I couldn't pull out my camera to do it because I felt like I was on a tight schedule. That's all. So anyways, lots going on in the garden right now. You'll see I did a whole lot of work with infrastructure. It was absolutely necessary in order for my garden to thrive this year. Also, I'm going to be giving you a little bit of an update on the Transatlantic Melon Challenge. Yes, I am, still in the game. There's plants to be had, etc., etc. Do you guys like my t-shirt? Sorry. Isn't that awesome? This is like my official garden t-shirt now. I feel like it gives me good luck. So yeah, I'm gonna give you a garden tour, and then after I do this, I'm gonna upload it. I've got to put the porch back together and get things taken care of because it is Independence Day weekend. The weather's supposed to be spectacular. I'm planning on trips to the beach, maybe cooking out and enjoying enjoying the weekend, the holiday weekend. So without further ado, let's hop in the carriage and head back into the garden so you guys can see that I haven't been sitting on my rear side doing nothing for the past 2 months. All right, well, if you noticed here, I've taken the gate down, and there's a very good reason as to why I have done that. So here is the first bed. Goodness, I feel so out of practice. As you can see, it is completely fenced in by chicken wire. You're gonna notice a trend here. So in here, I've got my sprouts, my Brussels sprouts. I've got a couple of Savoy cabbage and my, what are those, collard greens. All right, I've got some celery over here as well. This bed needs a water, obviously. It's flanked by a little calendula, and of course, I mean, the chamomile has gone absolutely mad this year. It looks wonderful. I need to get in here and harvest. I didn't plant anything next to the garage because I'm thinking that I might do some kind of a water barrel system there. I've got a gutter on the garage with the downspout right here. I think it's really the prime place to actually collect some rainwater, and it's a decent sized spot too. So I could have maybe 2 or 3 water barrels there. We'll see if I can source something that's cheap and reasonable. Coming over here, the garlic is just about ready to be pulled. I'm going to be pulling it probably this coming weekend. It's starting to turn yellow. It looks gorgeous. I did harvest the scapes off of it because it is a hardneck variety, and I made myself some lovely pesto from it. It smelled amazing. I just threw it in the freezer. I've got squash over here. This is Burgess Buttercup. It's already completely taken over my box spring trellis here. I do have a delicata here in the corner, and along the back I've got butternut squash, which is making its way up. I did have to train it. It started growing inwards, and I had to get in there and tie it up. Voluntary dill. Most of my dill is voluntary, as you'll see, because of the randomness. This is the same as last year. This is the Dasher cucumber, and I'm starting to get some little baby fruit off of it. Very pleased about that. All right, moving over here, I did the same variety. I did another batch of Dasher cucumbers here. So this is all eating cucumbers over here on this trellis. I've got a Volunteer Morning Glory making its way. Here is the summer squash bed. So I've got a yellow straight neck. I've got about 3 plants. And then this middle row is just Black Beauty. And then on this end is the Cocozelle zucchini. So I have 3 different varieties of summer squash here. Along the back, I have Lima Beans. They're a Ford hook Lima bean, and so they're climbing. So this trellis will be filled with Lima beans. And again, if you're noticing a trend here, folks, everything is fenced in. My onions are too close together. I realize that now, but I have to say, with the exception of some of the stems being slightly bent, so far so good. I've never had a really great success with onions. These seem to be growing much bigger than other varieties. I did do sets and seedlings just as a trial, and it seems to me that the sets and the seedlings are doing equally as well. So something to ponder in the future. We'll see how they look when I pull them up. Just a little row of basil here. This bed is not fenced in because, well, nobody really cares about onions. No one likes to eat them. I do. Makes me happy. Morning Glories climbing up the trellis feverishly. I did not plant a single one of these. These are all seeds that have been dropped from last year. Pretty good deal. This bed over here, which needs a bit of a weed. Last year I had French sorrel, and I had just some random, and a lavender plants in here which died, a couple other things. I brought this back online for tomatoes, which need to be tied up, and some herbs. I've got some more herbs in the tunnel that I'm gonna kind of pepper through here. But I do, it's funny, I do have some sorrel that's self-seeded. So that's kind of cool. And I think I had some cosmos. I did planted in here last year. So there's a little, I don't know if you can see it. There it is, right there. So that'll be nice. I really didn't get around to planting flowers this year. But there's still time, I'll still do it. Tomatoes. So in my fevered rush to get everything in, I wrote everything down. Can't find the sheet. But I do have 5 different varieties of tomatoes here. There's a plum tomato. There's mostly canning tomatoes. I think they're doing quite well. But I had left these kind of to their own accord towards the end of the school year, and it became a rather large jungle. And I had to come in here and painstakingly prune the bajiggers out of them and tie them up. They were traveling along the ground. Here's a good example of what one would look like. Okay, you can see the stem is all bent. I did a lot of major pruning here just to get them up onto the poles. So they seem to be doing quite well. I have to get in here again and continue pulling those suckers off. But the maintenance this year was, yeah, it was real for sure. Climbing up this trellis on both sides this year, I have pickling cucumbers. I'm going to be doing some pickles this year for sure. And along with that, I've got all of this Voluntary Dill, which is fabulous. I didn't have to plant a single bit of dill this year. It's very, very thrilling. These are my chilies, and they actually looked quite horrible when I put them in. They were small and tiny, and they looked absolutely miserable, and they've actually really, really caught up. A lot of the seeds did not, the seedlings and seeds did not do very well. I had a lot of chili plants this year. This is all I got. And most of these are cayenne. These 3 are the Big Jim. But yeah, I didn't get much out of it. So that's fine. I still have so many dried chilies from last year that if I needed them, you know, in a pinch. So I had this bed looking so beautiful. And this is going to be my corn bed. And frankly, I planted the corn, and then all of this grass came up. So I really don't know what is corn and what is grass, because, you know, corn, sweet corn is, you know, it's a grass essentially. I can't tell the difference. So I've actually sown some more sweet corn. It's actually in the tunnel right now. I know it's really, really late. Usually, you know, I usually have corn knee-high by the 4th of July. Well, not the case. So I'm going to have to take this all down again. And this time I'm going to directly plant seedlings. And is that one? I just can't tell the difference. Oh. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get corn this year. Maybe I won't. I'm still going to give it a go, even though it's really, really late. You know, the autumns have been really, really warm. So if I can get these up and running and then maybe get myself some corn by, say, late September, great. If not, at least I can say I tried. Fleece. I bought fleece this year for my brassicas, for all of my lovely little cabbage plants. And I have to say, it's done wonders. The cabbage whites are out in full force, but I don't know if you can see through this or not, but this is self-blanching cauliflower. I've never had cauliflower this big before. It's already starting to pull its leaves inwards as to form the curd. So I've got about 6 plants of cauliflower right here. I've got all this lovely red cabbage getting so big, gorgeous. And then over here on this side is green cabbage, again, looking gorgeous. I did purchase myself a fermenting crock. specifically designed for sauerkraut. So I'm going to make some sauerkraut this year. I've already started harvesting some broccoli. Okay, this is all just regular broccoli. Okay, not purple sprouting. Some of it has already gone to flower, but I'm gonna cut this flower stalk off and maybe I can get some side shoots off of it. But delicious. Again, I don't remember the last time I had broccoli actually to harvest. So this bed is doing really, really well, and I 100% attribute that to the fact that I have the fleece on there. It's the fleece. It's kept everything off. It's kept everything kind of shaded a bit, and looks very, very happy. I mean, just look at this cabbage. Come on. My goodness. Barely, nary a hole in sight. This is a volunteer thistle. I'm gonna let it go to flower because the bees love it, and I'm gonna chop it the heck down. All right, peppers. These are all sweet peppers this year. I had such a good crop of peppers last year, and I want more. So last year I just had about 2 or 3 rows of sweet peppers, and the rest were chilies. Now everything is chilies. Again, I think, if you recall, that long ago when I was telling you what kind of peppers I was growing, I've got the Corno de Toro, which is the horn of the bull. It's kind of that long one. I've got sweet banana peppers. I've got my Slovana that I grew last year, and I also have the Yolo Wonder, which is just a bog standard green bell pepper. So they're looking really, really nice. They're starting to go to flower. Here we are with a volunteer tomato plant. I'm going to get this trellised up. I do believe this is, again, the Sweetie variety. And that's great because I didn't actually sow any of those this year. All right. Stay with me, folks. Stay with me. This was a big project, okay? Trellising and fencing. I had to fence every single one of these beds in, and it was such a pain in the... All right. So these are progress peas. They're starting to go to flower, which is great. So I'm going to start getting some pods off of that. They look really, really happy. Once these are done, I'm just going to let this kind of chill and then do a second sowing of peas later on in the season as to get a fall crop. This big blank spot here, I actually had sown 4 rows, but 2 of each of beans, okay? So the first 2 were supposed to be the Coco Noir. None of them germinated. None of them. So, Vivi, you had more success with the Cocos than I did. You know, well, I'll explain what I did anyways later on. And then I had 2 rows of black-eyed peas or cow peas. Again, no germination. I think I got them in too early. That is kind of the tenor of you know, what's been going on in the garden when it comes to legumes of any kind. Not been good. I have 2 rows and then just a couple. I'll come over and show you. Of eggplants. Right now they're being nibbled by something. I need to get some kind of a neem oil or something like that on them. So potatoes have just started emerging. Okay, there's one over there and there's one kind of around here. They are kind of taking their sweet time, but I did get them in late. I had to really dig down deep in this bed, and of course it was, you know, a festival of roots. So I'm hoping to get a crop of something. On this side I've got russets, and on this side I've got just your regular Kennebec. The russets I planted because I want to get into making bread out of potatoes, and they say that russets are great for that. This row of beans that are up are Cannellini beans, and I didn't have any luck with them last year, so I'm happy to see that they are up. I do have some holes that I will be filling. I have already resown those. And this row over here, we've got navy beans, random a lemon balm, and then more navy beans down there. So the goal this year for me when it comes to beans is not so much fresh eating as it is potting beans, things that I can dry and store. My Honeycrisp tree is still going. I don't know what this is, but I'm not going to complain. I do actually have apples off of it too, which is great. I've got some sleeves that I can put over these just to prevent anything from having its own little feast. I think I had a number of them on here, and a lot of them. Here's another one here. I just can't see them at the moment. But yeah, if I can get those 2 apples, maybe more, fabulous. And then this might be just the last year, the last push. Oh, here's another one. So we'll see. This is the big change for me this year. Okay, again, completely fenced in. Oh, look at the lushness of this. Oh, I'm so excited. So, things that I normally do poorly with that are actually doing well. First edition. Swiss chard is just gorgeous, and I've got lots of different varieties. This one's called orange. I've got a Ford Hook Giant. I also have some ruby red and some magenta sunset. There's some rainbow in there. I've got just a big variety in there, and it just, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of holes right now. The slugs are kind of having its slow feast at them, but I don't care. It looks gorgeous. I'm going to start to harvest some of the outer leaves so that I can start making things. My kale, this is another thing that just never does well for me. It is just getting big and blousy and gorgeous. So this is just a regular green kale. And then over here, I've got the Nero di Toscana, or lacinato kale, or dinosaur kale, whatever you want to call it. And this is just, look at that. Ugh. I have a little bit of parsley in here, some lettuce. This is just a regular leaf lettuce, and then a romaine. I had one casualty here, but that's all right. These are going to come out soon anyhow. This is right here. This is what it's all about. Beets. I've had such a horrible time growing beets in this garden, and I don't know, it must be the location, but I've got some lovely little beets starting to form. Look at that. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about that. I do love beets. I'm going to come back over here. Pardon my shadow, it's early. So here are my eggplants. And like I said, they're looking a little lacy right now. A lot of new green growth, which is good, but I need to get in here and start spraying and see what the deal is. I have 2 different varieties. I've got the Midnight Moon, okay, which is an earlier producer. And I also have the small fingerling ones, okay? They don't grow very big, which is great because I actually prefer those. Here's the former squash trellis, which is now a bean trellis. And on this side, I have the Coco Sophie, which the lovely Sandy had sent me the seeds. Thank you, Sandy. They're performing excellently. They look gorgeous. They're doing really, really well. And then on this side, I've got the Kentucky Wonder. This is an eating fresh bean. So the Sophies I will save for potting, and the Kentucky Wonders I will be eating fresh, maybe canning. We'll see what the yield is on that. So those have been doing well. Here's the new bed. The new bed that was made this year. Again, completely fenced in. I bought myself some 8-foot poles. And they're brand new and they're in really good condition, so I won't hopefully have any collapse this year. And within this, I have all of my winter squash. Yay. Lots of different varieties. I'll go through it in a minute, but again, the beans, this is all supposed to be Blue Lake pole beans. Very poor germination. I have more sown in the tunnel to fill in the gaps. It could be the seed is too old because it was saved seed. Not sure. It could be because I planted them too early. I don't know. But I'm, hell-bent on election to get the holes filled in so that I can actually have a decent crop. And then on this end, this is supposed to be gigantes. How many did I have germinate? 1, 2. 2. Oh, this is new soil in here. So, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I couldn't say. But, again, with the other beans, I did re-sow them, and they're in the tunnel. So, we'll see if those will come. If they do pop, I'm going to kind of think that it's going to be the soil out here that's the problem. Okay? Or it could have been the fact that I sowed them too early. I don't know. My winter squash is, obviously you can see I've done it a little bit differently. I have these bags of raised bed soil that I've used before. They've been excellent. And I have actually planted the winter squash within them. Now, underneath these, I have made huge holes for drainage and for the roots to go down. Okay? I think the problem I had last year was not only the erratic watering schedule, but the fact that the soil wasn't very nutrient dense. So this way I have a way to kind of control how much nutrition these winter squash are getting. I can feed the bags directly if I need to. I can water them. I can just stick a hose inside one of the holes, fill the whole thing up, and it slowly seeps out so as to keep everything evenly moist. Anyways, I saw it on a video, go figure, but so let me go show you exactly what I have, because I labeled all the bags, aren't I good? Sugar pumpkin. So that's a pie pumpkin. All right, starting to make its way around. Oh, by the way, those 5 plants there, those are Table King acorn squash. This is green striped cushaw. Okay, that's another eating pumpkin. Blue Hubbard, which I had an amazing Blue Hubbard crop last year. I'm hoping to get at least one off of this. Golden Hubbard. Okay, same thing as the Blue Hubbard, a little smaller, golden in color. Musqué de Provence. My French is terrible. Again, another lovely eating pumpkin. Connecticut Field. That's going to be for jack-o'-lanterns. That's going to be for decor. But I'll keep the seeds. I'll eat the seeds. They're delicious. My little Rouge Vif Détente. Those are the Cinderella pumpkin. Coming over here. Table Queen acorn squash. This is a spaghetti squash. This is another butternut. Okay, so I've got a lot more butternuts growing over on the other trellis. Oh, one lowly sweetmeat. One was nibbled. And one looks like it's, and same with the Burgess buttercup. I've got one plant and then one was nibbled. So, I'm thinking it had to have been some kind of a mouse or something, because nothing can pretty much penetrate these fences, I don't think. Then I have the blah blah blah, if you can read French, good. And then these are sweet dumpling, and they're just starting to put on some new growth. There's the other tiny little gigantes. So infrastructure, that's what was taking me so long, friends, amongst other things. Getting all of this fencing up was a pain in the you-know-what. I had to source a lot of it. A lot of it I had on hand. You know, it was just, the fence that I had around the garden is gone. So it's essentially an open garden again. I've just encapsulated the parts that I knew would be a delicious little treat to the local vermin. So it did take a long time, and I was, battling not great weather, bugs. The black fly this year was so bad We have gnats now and mosquitoes. It's just, I've gotten to the point now where it's like I can't wait for a day where they're kind of at bay. I've had to spray myself with DEET just to get some work done back here because they are thirsty little bleeps. So all in all, the outdoor garden is doing really, really well. Now it's time that we enter this lovely place. So the fence, the gate, at the start of the tour, I moved it here, okay? Both of them, actually. That one's from the other entrance. This one's from the entrance we went through. This is great because then I can keep the doors open and I don't have to worry about things getting in. I'm just gonna kill a mosquito. Okay, now I've only gotten one side of my tunnel done. I'm still in the process of having to take care of that side of the tunnel. I have to dig it over and I need to amend it, etc., so I can plant in. But this side I finished and it's looking promising. So I'm gonna start all the way over on this end. At the top self-watering container, I actually have 2 squash plants, variety unknown. They were given to me, okay? And some very I just planted these, so they were going through a bit of a, container shock. That's why they're looking so sad, but there's some, some green growth on here. This is just an Italian flat leaf parsley. So I planted them in with that, and they look to be rebounding quite a bit. So I have no idea what those are. We'll see, okay? Over here is my one lowly Minnesota midget. That's it. And to tell you the truth, none of the seeds germinated, and I was about to throw in the towel. And I don't think the seed was old. I just had not good luck with it. So I just kind of brought it in here and kind of ignored it. I kept watering it, whatever. And then lo and behold, a few weeks ago, it popped. Now I sowed those back in what, April, May? What on earth took it so long? Never mind, it's here, which is great. I do have all this growing trellising up, okay? And all of these are melons. And I used the fencing that used to be outside. Look at that, isn't that nice? Mm-hmm. Hopefully gonna have a wall of melons. So let's talk melons here. So all you transatlantic melon challenge growers, I am in the game still. So I've got Sugar Baby, Sugar Baby, Sugar Baby, Sugar Baby, Sugar Baby. This one's doing really, really well. It's starting to throw flowers and it's starting to climb. Great, great, great. Leftover Swiss chard, leftover eggplant. We'll see how they do. Sugar Baby, Sugar Baby. They did so well in the tunnel last year and they were so delicious. I want more. Okay. This is a I'll have to look it up. I can't remember what it is. It's a different variety, excuse me, of melon. It's a French cantaloupe of some kind. I cannot remember the name at this point. It may come to me as I'm filming. And then we have Hale's Best cantaloupe, Hale's Best cantaloupe, Hale's Best cantaloupe. And these were kind of pot bound. That's why they're so small and demure and looking a little yellow. But remember, I just planted these in, so they're kind of finding their shoes, their feet, their whatever. And then I have another Hale's Best and another Hale's Best, and those are doing really, really well. So, they're small, but they're going to hopefully take off soon. Oh, and then I had an extra delicata there. I just threw it there. Some more red cabbage, some more green cabbage, and a couple more cauliflower. I'm gonna try growing it in here. It might be too hot. And some more Swiss chard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And those are all of the rainbow variety. Over here on this side, I've got my tomato suckers going for the root so that I can put them in here. Okay, these are all different varieties from the garden. And then I planted a lot more seeds. Okay, so I'm thinking ahead, which is something I never do. I don't remember the last time I sowed seeds this late, but whatever. These are more things I need to get in. I've got some sprouts, I've got some more cabbage, some basil, some tulsi or holy basil, and I've got some green sage. I did sow my rutabaga seeds, okay, and yes, we've got a little something. So I've got about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 24 little cells of rutabaga. I'm going to get those into the ground probably when the garlic comes up. Along with that, I've got some Bok Choy, which is just like a Chinese cabbage. Okay, those are starting to come up. Fabulous. I've got a whole flat of gigantes. Okay, I'm noticing a little life right here. So, yay, I guess it's not the seed. I guess it might be the soil. I don't know. These are the Blue Lake pole beans. Okay, and then this is my sweet corn. Nothing yet. Over here, I've got, these are some more of the beans. So I've got pinto beans. I've got some more black-eyed peas or cow peas. And then one little flat of cannellini here, just to fill in the gaps. Coco noir. I'm gonna give it another go. Yeah, so I'll get this taken care of. I've got a lemon balm in here. My grape is doing really, really well this year. It's starting to really take off. This variety was called Mars. So I have more work to do in here, no doubt about it. I'm gonna get as much done as I can in the coming weeks. But yeah, moving right along. Things are moving slowly. Some things are moving faster than the others. But I'm pleased. I'm pleased. Oh, yikes. We got yikes and we've got, ooh, yikes. More weeds. So, but things are looking nice. I'm pleased so far. I'm going to have a bumper crop of elderberry this year. It's going to be gorgeous. Looking forward to it. So I'm pleased with everything that's going on right now. And I feel like I'm just getting a handle on it now. Everything. Where I will finally be able to actually relax and enjoy the summer. You know, instead of having to spend 9 hours a day doing whatever it is that needs to be done here, I can now kind of putter, which is, it's a wonderful affirmation. It is. So that's it for me. I hope you're all doing really, really well. I hope all of your gardens are doing well. I have been away from social media. I haven't posted on Facebook. I haven't posted on Instagram. I've been sorely neglectful of my YouTube friends and their channels across the pond, and for that, I'm so sorry. I just, you know, I figure I'm gonna give myself a little backlog for when the weather starts to get poopy again. So it's not that I don't love you, it's just that, you know, life can be a little crazy and whatnot. So I hope you guys are doing well. I said that already. I hope to see you soon. Not sure when my next video will come out. Would you like to see a video of me doing laundry in that thing? Would you like me to do that? Would you be interested in seeing how that's gonna go? I think I might do that. It might be a Make Do Monday, we'll see. Not this Monday though, because it's Independence Day. So anyhow, and speaking of which, it's also Vivi's birthday. So make sure you wish Vivi a happy 39th birthday, okay? All right, guys, I'll see you all really soon. And yeah, great to be back. So long.